Good morning, everybody. It's Professor Beach here. Just out for a little walk with Lorian. Say hi, Lorian. He doesn't really want to say hi. He's pretty tired. He doesn't feel like walking today. He gets to ride, and I get the exercise. But today I wanted to talk about the nature of being thankful and the nature of giving. You know, because obviously this is that time of the year where everybody's thinking about that, and you know, some people think about it in terms of, you know, materialism, things, you know, presents, gifts, stuff that everybody wants. There's nothing wrong with wanting material items. Some people think about it in terms of family and connection and what's really important to you. And you know, I think that me and the family, we tend to think about this time of the year in mostly the same way that everybody else does. But, you know, the unfortunate side of that is that this expectation this time of the year of trying to give, you know, trying to get your family everything that they want for Christmas, or in our case, Christmas and birthdays, all being in December. It can be so stressful, and it can really just destroy what's supposed to be a special holiday, a special family event that you all come together and, you know, and celebrate and be thankful of your lives together, and which is obviously what it should all be about, of course. But you know, for some of us adults, we can easily grasp the idea that it's not about how many presents you give, but about how heartfelt they were and how much they really mean to you. But with the kids, you know, I mean, they have other kids at school, they have friends, they have expectations that are just ingrained into them. That's not their fault. It's what Christmas is to them. They don't understand all, you know, necessarily what it takes to make that sort of thing happen, to have this Christmas tree with tons of gifts under it. They don't know what some of us have to go through or to sacrifice to provide that. I'm thankful every day for my family, for everybody that I love and loves me back and makes my life worth living. And I'm thankful for my students, and for the fact that I get to have a job that really means something to me, that makes me want to keep doing it every day. A job where I get to help people, where I get to, you know, take kids or even adults through a really difficult time in their lives and help give them some sort of a direction, or at least the self-confidence to find their own direction. That's what I live for. That's what I love. And, you know, my dream my whole life has been to have a big, beautiful dojo where I could provide exactly that to as many people as possible. And even though it was my dream long before I even had a family, they've all supported me and been right by my side. And, you know, my wonderful, amazing wife that I can't say enough about, has really taken this dream onto herself for my sake and sacrificed so much for me to have this dream. And you know, she's even become part of the dream, really. Now, even though it was just my dream to begin with, I couldn't even imagine doing this without her. I've got 2 sons who are black belts and 2 other little boys who do it pretty regularly, and a little baby who just wants to hit everything in sight, but he's not quite ready for class yet. You know, and all of them stand by me and support me in this dream. They stand by me and sacrificed so much to have this. I really feel like sometimes that sacrifice that we give is really part of the nature of giving, in a way. It's easy to give a gift that is easy to give, and doesn't mean that it doesn't come from a good place, or that it's, that you're being kind by giving it. But I mean just that. It's easy to give a gift that's easy to give. A gift that causes you to sacrifice so much. A gift that causes you to give up something of yourself in order to give that gift. And that is deeply meaningful. And for me and my family, it's not about Christmas or the giving season. We give that every day, all year long. Doesn't matter what the holiday, it doesn't matter what's going on. If somebody comes in the door of our dojo that really needs what we do in their life and they can't pay for it, I'm not going to turn them away. I'm here and they're here, and maybe they'll be able to pay sometime, maybe they won't, but they need it, and I'm the one who's willing to sacrifice to give it. Which is why we have so many kids at our dojo, from the foster system, from group homes, underprivileged kids from really low income single parent families. These kids who really need a place like the dojo to be, and people like us to be with. And they're what I do it for. I love them, and I love all of my paying students as well. They're the ones who allow me to do this, and they're great people. But I'll always give. But sometimes the sacrifice that you have to endure to give that is hard, and sometimes it can be too much. After teaching in community centers and boys and girls clubs for years, for over a decade, we really, me and Sheila both, we really felt like we need a place that we can create an environment, a place that we can decorate, we can have punching bags hanging up, a place that doesn't have to be cleaned up and cleared out the second class is over and then we walk out and it's not ours anymore. We needed a place that we could actually turn into a second home for our students, for the people who rely on us. And when we first opened the dojo, we had so much support, so much help, so many cool students, so many cool friends that were part of this with us, that it was just an amazing adventure. It was wonderful. And we were living in a home. We were paying like $1,500 a month rent for our home, and about the same actually when we first opened for at the dojo. And it wasn't that bad. We managed to hold it together, and it was great. And we got our first big rent increase at the dojo around the same time that my great grandmother died, causing a unfortunate family dispute that lost us the home that we were renting. So we had to decide, do we sacrifice the dojo to go get regular jobs and to continue living in a home, or do we put faith into the dojo and our students and our ability to grow and make a sacrifice. And so we made a sacrifice and we moved into a trailer on my mom's property. And, it was hard. It's still hard. 7 years later, we still live in that trailer. I've built a second one and expanded our living situation into something a whole lot more comfortable and spacious, but it's really tough, knowing what it is that we've given up to have this. And every time it feels like we're catching up and things are going good and we're getting into a good place, something happens. The dojo flooded. We lost so much. We lost thousands and thousands of dollars worth of hardwood floors that were very attractive to dance teachers and things like that we no longer have. We lost punching bags, gear. We just lost so much. It was devastating, but we managed to pull it back together. When the first round of fires happened, we had to shut down for weeks because of air quality. And, what did we do? We continued giving. We allowed several families of our students who had been evacuated from their homes to come and live in the dojo. We weren't open anyway, so come on in and enjoy our big spacious place and be safe. We were actually set up again to receive a few more evacuees during this last fire, but then we got evacuated also, and the whole town got evacuated, so the dojo was not the place to be at that time. But, that's what we do. We, over the last 7 years, have had rent increased at the dojo from our original $1,500 that we started with to now paying over $5,300 a month. It's unfair. It's selfish. But that's business, I guess. And we have to deal with it. There's always hope. Even though that can tend to dwindle, I'll tell you. But, there's always possibilities and good things on the horizon. Just have to hope that it works out. We had a bunch of local schools be incredibly gracious and a bunch of parents be incredibly generous. Parents from the dojo donated, maybe 5,000 or 6,000 flyers of ours, donated the printing and the paper and all that. And so far, 3 different schools around here that we're friends with, that we pick up kids from, have mailed home those flyers to about 1,000 students. And that's great. If we get even a handful of students from that, it'll help us a lot. We have some new friends at the Rotary Club that have been really kind and really helpful in making connections and starting to pave the way towards potential nonprofit funding and things like that can help us survive and maybe even help us actually live in a home again someday. Unfortunately, the eventual payoff of these positive things is great, and that's what we want to build towards, but it doesn't help right now at this moment. And that's what this is all about, really, is right now. We are so deep down in a financial hole that it's hard to even see our way out of it. We've sacrificed everything to try to keep this place going, to try to keep this dojo happening, and to try to keep giving and doing the things that we love to do the most with the people who need it the most. But there have just been too many sacrificed Christmases and sacrificed birthdays, and so much that my heart hurts at the idea of the next month and a half coming up. It's my oldest son turning 21, and the other 4 of them all having birthdays coming up here as well. My wife and I have our anniversary, my birthday, Christmas, all of those things that are supposed to be special and supposed to feel good. And they're not supposed to be about money, but when you literally can't do anything, when you have no money to even pay the rent at the dojo, and you're going to spend your whole Christmas wondering what are the landlords going to do about that, and what is going to happen to us. It's not even about presents at that point. It's about how do we actually have a positive family experience over this family holiday when we're surrounded by such hurt and sacrifice and fear. Now, we've tried GoFundMe in the past, and even though it helped a little when we got our vans to start doing our after-school program, you know, it ultimately can be kind of disappointing sometimes when, you know, who knows how it works. I'm not an incredible computer nerd or whatnot, but whether it's unsuccessful viral marketing or whatnot, who knows. But yeah, I mean, it can be really discouraging and disappointing when you don't get anywhere near the kind of donations that you thought you would. So, some people at the Rotary Club, good friends of mine, suggested that we do a GoFundMe campaign to try to catch up, to try to give ourselves some breathing room and some ability to take advantage of the new year and try some sort of new advertising, who knows what, but just to simply get through this season without the same sacrifice and heartache that we've always had, and to continue doing the good work we do for the community and for these kids. So I thought a lot about why maybe our campaigns in the past didn't work, or why we have a hard time getting funding here and there. And part of it is that nobody wants to support a request for a handout, and nobody wants to feel like they're asking for one, because I'm not. Even though we do good for the community, I think when people hear us talk about, the sacrifice and all of that, it's like, well, you could do better, and you could go and, increase your income in other ways. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that we could do, of course, and those things are on the table. But this is what I'm going to do. This is what I have thought of here, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but I'm going to give these guys at Rotary a chance, and give all of you guys in the viral community and our friends a chance to see, can this work? Can we do this? So here goes. We're going to put up a GoFundMe asking for $10,000 for the dojo. But we're not asking for a handout. If we can't continue at the dojo, if we can't manage to save this place by the time our lease is up in June, then so be it. That's a bridge we'll have to cross when we come to it. But I'm going to make sure that these last 6 months, if they are our last, are going to be utilized doing what we do and giving. So this $10,000 that we're asking for on GoFundMe, for every $500 towards our goal, we will put up a scholarship for another foster kid, a group home kid, or simply somebody who just can't afford it. We will put up a 6-month scholarship so that those kids can, at the very least, enjoy the dojo, our services, and what we do for these kids for as long as possible, and that we can help them for as long as possible. So if we reach our goal of $10,000 with this campaign, it is going to do a whole lot of good, because this is what's going to happen. 20 kids who need it really badly will get to have a scholarship to do karate for the next 6 months without them having to pay a dime. And we will give them the best experience they've had in their lives, and hopefully change some lives. And then the other bonus of this is that the family, my family, the people who sacrifice so much to do this for our community and for these children, might get to have a Christmas, might get to have some comfort over the next 2 months without worrying, is the power going to get shut off? Our phone's going to get shut off, taking away our ability to manage our business. Our rent check's going to bounce, and the landlords kick us out or charge us more, who knows. But if we reach this goal, kids who need it will get what they need and be taken care of, and the family who does the giving will actually get to feel good about the sacrifices that they have made.